One day, a beautiful girl was leaving the cinema with a friend. Her friend departed, leaving her to walk home alone. Suddenly, someone struck her head from behind, rendering her unconscious. When she regained consciousness, she found herself in a room draped in heavy plastic sheets. She tried to stand but felt dizzy. Stumbling to the door, she exited the terrifying room and found herself in a remarkably beautiful house, unlike the grim chamber she had been in. A young man stood before her, explaining he had found her unconscious on the road, possibly the victim of an accident. He handed her phone back to her and suggested she call her family to let them know she was safe. Despite her inner fear, she cautiously approached to take her phone, but he flung it aside and laughed hysterically, intensifying her terror. She sprinted to the front door, only to find it locked. Desperately, she ran to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and threatened him with it, warning him to stay away or she would kill him. With chilling calm, he approached, wrested the knife from her hand, and cruelly plunged it into her thigh. She screamed in agony, and as she tried to pull the knife out, he warned that doing so would make her bleed out. Terrified, she complied and crawled back to the room she had escaped from. She rummaged through her bag and found her Bluetooth earphones, hoping someone would call her. Fortunately, her mother called, and she quietly explained she was kidnapped by a mentally unstable man and needed her to call the police. The girl's faint voice conveyed the urgency, afraid the deranged man would discover her. She kept her voice low. Her mother contacted the police, who managed to trace her location via her phone. However, finding her in an area dense with skyscrapers and homes was like searching for a needle in a haystack. The rescue team, including a doctor, struggled to pinpoint her exact location. Still on the phone, the doctor asked her to press on her nails and report the color. When she mentioned they were white, the doctor realized they had only an hour before she passed out from blood loss. One investigator, frustrated by the difficulty in locating her based on her descriptions, asked her to set a fire so they could find her faster. Gathering her courage, she found a lighter in the bathroom, which was malfunctioning. Following the detective's instructions, she removed the top and struck it against the floor to create sparks. Weak and unsteady, she finally managed to ignite a small fire and closed the bathroom door before fainting. The rescue team saw the smoke and identified her precise location. Entering through a window to avoid the flames, the first rescuer encountered the man, who held a knife to his own throat, threatening the team. However, trained for such situations, they subdued him and rushed to the room enveloped in flames. They extinguished the fire and found the unconscious girl, who was also suffering from smoke inhalation. The doctor treated her as much as possible, and they carried her to an ambulance. Meanwhile, the disturbed man was in another ambulance, being interrogated by a detective. His answers were provocative and uncooperative. One doctor from the rescue team poured alcohol on his wounds, causing pain, prompting him to confess to killing, dismembering, and cannibalizing 6 girls.